Good evening. So, this is the DevOps assignment where what we are building here is actually the Jynx chat interface among the other two systems that is there, which is SonarCloud AI response server connecting to Jenkins server. The particular AI response server also runs inside my PC, and Jenkins server also runs inside my PC. Only SonarCloud is something that's inside third-party infra. Okay, so AI's response server and Jenkins server both are running on my Docker system. So this GPU Ubuntu playground is the AI server container, and this Jenkins is you know, the Jenkins container. So 8080 port, and this one I'm using the first one only. There are 5 ports open. I'm using the first one, 5885, connecting to the container port 5001. Okay, so what happens here? Let me explain. Before that, let me start the AI server. So this is AI server. This will not be part of any form of testing, building, or anything. What will be part of testing, building, or anything else would be this one. This is the UI server, which connects to the AI server to give out commands. I'll explain this in detail. So for now, let's start it. Right now, it will be running inside my machine only because I've set the URL as such. Let's run it. So this AI server, it will take some time loading the model, which is happening here. Once it starts, it's actually a local LLM. Okay, so it's an LLM for function calling purposes. Uh, so it's right now loading the 3 checkpoints. Once it is done, yeah, it's up. So this is the container port 5001, which would expose it to host port 5885. Okay, so this is uh, okay. So let's just go here. Hmm, Jynx AI. Okay, so let me reload the page, start a new chat, and let me reload this page. Okay, so all of these were around 17 minutes, 16 minutes, 23 minutes, and 1 day, 19 hours ago. Okay, let me show you the working of this particular setup. So this is like a chat bot. You chat with the AI server, which will help you deploy or refresh to run the deploy or refresh tasks, jobs in Jenkins. Okay, let's go ahead. Hey, buddy, can you refresh A06 environment for me, please? A06. Okay, so it should actually start the AE06 refresh job. So task status, if you see here, AE06 refresh has started running. There's no particular format. It's AI that's, understanding what job to run. So you can just simply say something like also, hey, I want to uh, run AE06 refresh. Or I can this time say run, I can simply say deploy code on A06. Okay, so A06 deployment task picked up, and see the job is running here. And the previous one, the refresh ended 38 seconds ago. I mean, these jobs are not actually refreshing and deploying per se. These are just running. So all of them have only echo commands inside. So I mean, you have these kind of facilities. So I can also say like uh, the same thing. I will say the same thing. Hey, I want to, can you please trigger the AE06 deployment task for me. So here we ran the deployment on A06. Again, we are going to do the A06 deployment only. I mean, if you notice, the purpose is like whichever way you type, it will understand. So again, you see A06 deployment, the deployment task started. So it's like naturally, whatever you are speaking, that language will be processed by AI, understood, and task will trigger. Second thing is like you have, if I go to chat one, so whatever I was talking the first day, current chat, everything is, there is a whole history of what's happening here. So this is what this particular whole thing does. Okay. So now let's do the build and everything else. Uh, okay, let's check it if it's connected. Okay. So, right. I'll stop this one. I have to make a few changes to the routes, which would be I have to stop my local IP, make my public IP available. Uh, okay, that is done. So with that, my Git status. Okay, so currently whatever chat I created, they got created, and chat list got updated because that's the place where all the new chats are added. Routes, that's the one where I changed the private IP to public IP. So that is done. Uh, let's go here. Okay, so now I'll be okay. So we will be now going towards the next part, which is adding the exposing my Jenkins and AI to the public network. So here application port forwarding. Yeah, I would need this. 2.2. I think just 1.2 only. Okay, so that adds it. Okay. So our first port is mapped here. Now let's map the AI port. 585, 585, 585, 585. Same IP 192.168.1.2. TCP this thing, add. Okay, so we have added this too. Okay, fine. So that is done. And now, so that's my commit and that's my push. So the AI server is running. This is pushed and this is my code. And let's go here. So the job is getting triggered. So if you go here, you will see that pushed back. That's my name actually. Katsuki is my this thing. So it was pushed. So that's what triggered it. So lint test is success. So here I think I made sure all those lints are corrected. So Flake8 is used here. So not a big issue. Everything looks fine. Test. Let's see test. So test I am doing with the help of PyTest, and it is the one that creates the coverage.xml file. So I think 10 tests all are passed. So we have 8 tests, which is done by, it's kind of mock. And out of which there are 2 tests, which will only work if I have access to, internet and everything, because then only it will connect to my AI server and perform those tests. So 10 tests in total. Okay. So with that, it has said here, coverage reports, coverage.xml created. Okay. So that is where coverage happens. Coverage.xml is created, and then we have build, like there is setup.py and everything. So this is setup. Okay. In install requirements, you would notice that Jynx UI is installed. Okay. So all prerequisites, everything, successfully built Jynx UI and, happens. And then we have code quality. In code quality, so I think it's success. So I'll just show you the SonarCloud scan. In this coverage.xml file, so if we go down here, we notice, right? So coverage reports, coverage.xml it takes and it tests for all these files. Okay. And I have written test also for all these files. So based on this only it happens. So now if I just open my test report, yeah, it comes out as success, show me full analysis, 90.8 coverage. One new issue that I have to check, duplicacy 0. So here if you notice, let me just zoom into the page. So reliability is A, there are no bugs. Vulnerabilities A. Maintainability is A. Security, there are a few hotspots. Coverage is almost 90.8%. I had a lot of issues because it was a Flask app, but I think this looks fine. And so there are a few things. Okay, so security CSRF, which I could have done, which is to ensure the post request via form and all is safe if we do this part. And the other two would be related to HTML Ajax. I think so. Yeah, HTML Ajax. Okay, so those are the three things there. Apart from that, uh, everything looks fine. And even so, this is the repo. Let's reload it. So this is how it looks like now. So I have put it under MIT license and everything. So if you go to GitHub Workflows, this is the web app. So let me just zoom into it. Okay. So here what's happening is you have name, you have workflow dispatch. So this is for manual triggering. Okay. So I wanted to test manual triggering for that workflow dispatch is there. Then you have push branches to main. It will start triggering on commit. So then we have the first job is here, lint job. So what's happening is it runs on Ubuntu latest. Check out with V4 because Node migrated from 16 to 20. Same goes for setup Python 5. Again, because Node migrated from 16 to 20, it's a dependency. So because of which this for version 4 and version 5 exist. And then comes install requirements. So I have made a dev requirement where I have added all those PyTests, etc. Even for this one, lint, I use Flake8. So Flake8. So here I'm running the Flake8 in the particular folder. Okay. So source Jynx UI is the particular folder. After that, as a dependency connection, I have kept it as lint Jynx, which is the name of this. But even if lint fails, this will still run because I've set it as always. Okay. So then in same thing, I mean, you are checking out, setting up Python. Here, I wanted to have access to the files. So I'm doing a pip install with E. And then comes Python PyTest. So here, everything else is running. Initially, I was planning to use continue error. Then I commented it out because I had a different, I was using this particular if success or failure, this will anyways run. Okay, because if success or failure, this will anyways run. So coverage.xml will be either ways created, even if this particular step fails and the job also fails. This will still run either way. So that's why initially I was using this, then I removed it and I moved to the if method. So if condition. So once that is done, next thing that would run would be build. Okay, so that is build is purely dependent upon test. Okay, so if test fails for any reason, build will not get triggered. Nothing else. There is no condition of sorts or anything. So here nothing else is happening. You're doing a proper requirements. Earlier it was requirements underscore dev, right? This is a proper requirements.txt for the build. Pip install from the current folder. So that's how the build is running. And then comes, code quality that runs in parallel because its dependencies also test, but either ways it will run always. Okay. So it's like test lint will either ways run test uh, even if it succeeds or fails, it will create coverage.xml, and based on that, code quality will run. Okay. So here a lot of work went into because setting up this was a bit difficult, mostly because of such things. Okay. So here I'm setting the project base directory as src Jynx UI. Because of that, what happened is inside coverage.xml, if you notice, let me open coverage.xml somewhere else. I have a copy of coverage.xml here. Um, where is it? I think I did not upload it. Okay, I'll just. Okay, so I have a copy here. So what happens is that, okay, here you can't see it because I ran the replacement. Mhm. So let's take this for example. If you notice here, source Jinx, this was part of, every single file path. Okay, so this was part of every single file path. So what would happen is, uh, here, right, what would happen is this base directory, right, since I have put as source Jinx, so that, I don't want the code quality or whatever to be coverage to be checked for every single file throughout the repo. Test cases also I don't want it to be checked. Only for the actual code I want it to be checked. So when I say coverage, you know, coverage reports, coverage.xml, and once this is inside here, all the other paths there, right? Everything has source Jynx UI. So that what would happen is because of that, all those files, it will start searching for source Jynx and file name inside source Jynx once again. So because of which I used the sed to remove it from the coverage.xml so that all those paths are gone and it's purely clean like the one you saw here. Like it doesn't have a, anything in front of it, just simply this. So because of which it was able to pick it up. Um, so if you go here, right, into code quality, and if you go here to uh, coverage.xml, okay, see here, okay, so directly if you notice there is no forward path, like everything is, just directly the file name is being taken here, okay, and mostly because of this thing, GitHub workspace path and all, okay. So with this, what happened is we were able to, check this particular thing. Once this was done, what would happen now is once cleaning, what would happen is, okay, so before that, what's happening here is I'm downloading the artifact and here I'm uploading the artifact. Okay, so the thing is, PyTest runs here and this is the one that generates the coverage.xml. And this is a, separate job and this is a separate job. So what I'm doing in between is just simply, uh, archiving the particular, coverage.xml as an artifact, and I'm downloading it here. With that, what actually these two are running in different environments. Okay, so that's the reason I had to do that, and hence I would have everything here. And this is the organization name, project key, and everything. The whole setup integration with this, and So the SonarCube integration, everything is done. I think that suffices. Thank you.